Toxic people never return because they loved you or because they missed you or because they've suddenly realized what they did to you was wrong. No, they only return because they miss the comfort, they miss the attention, they miss the dedication you had and gave to them. They miss the moment they spent with you because toxic people never leave until they found a better option. So those constant texts, those late night checkups, those social media stalking is not because they found out that they did you wrong. It's because they actually want to know if they still have control over you. Because a toxic person never changes. When they come back without being accountable for their actions, when they come back with empty promises and start telling you about moments you shared without accepting the role they play in hurting you or the role they play in chasing you away, then you should know they are seeking that avenue where they can have control over your life as usual. Sometimes they only check up on you to see if they still have that control over you, if you're still loyal to them, if they still have that power over you, because toxic people feed on familiarities, they feed on attention, they feed on their ego, they feed on things that makes them seem good in their own eyes at the detriment of people that care for them. So when you see them reaching out to you after they've hurt you so badly and start checking up on you, be careful because a lot of times it is not because they've repented of their ways. It's just the fact that that void you've kept is making them feel insecure and empty. They no longer have someone to control and order around. They no longer have somebody who tolerates their excesses and still worship them. They no longer have someone they can lord over. And that at that moment, they begin to circle around to pick off where they left. Initially, they felt you couldn't do without them. And as minutes turned to hours, hours to weeks, to days, days to weeks, they began to realize that it seems you've moved on. But because they are not certain, they still want to test their resolve to see how much of an influence they still have over you. Because that's all toxic people do. They begin with funny text messages, trying to guilt trip you, making you believe the whole situation was actually your fault. They never own up to any of their mistakes. Now, if you don't give in, they slowly begin to come close with constant text messages. And sometimes a lot of people confuse this to be that, oh, they've realized their mistake and they are sorry about it. If you fall into this trap without actually confirming if they sincerely mean what they are apologizing about, then you would find yourself going back to the same thing that almost broke you or to the same thing that almost destroyed you. When you see them come, start stalking you, liking your pictures, random text messages, reminding you of the moment you both shared, of the good times, without acknowledging the fact that they played a role in causing the trouble that left you broken, then you should know they are not there for closure. They are not there for amendment. They are just there to see if they still have that control over you. Because sometimes they feel you've moved on. They see you're no longer quiet. You begin to update your status on your social media handle. You go about life the way it is. And sometimes it could even be people are beginning to notice that you're no longer part of their lives and questions are being asked. How about this person that was always the reason why you were so happy? When these constant questions begin to set in, they decide to test their powers. She was always loyal. This person was always loyal to me. Let me see if I still have that authority over this person. Then they begin to make their step. They map out a strategy, knowing that if they come apologizing, you would accept them back. Now, this is where you need to draw the curtains. You should not open the doors to constant regret, constant pain, constant, emotional trauma, because the door you leave open constantly will invite people you don't want in your life. The same reason you left is the same reason these people are coming back. Sometimes they realize their mistake. In some cases, they come back genuinely repentant. But in most cases, they are only coming back to see if you picked up from where they left you. If you're still that one person that could still tolerate their excesses because they no longer find it very comfortable. Nobody tolerates the way they behave. They don't see how they don't see their mistakes. They find themselves being questioned when they do things. And then they realize that it was just you that tolerated them without questions. It was just you that was able to stick with them. And they decide to come back just to make sure they still have that control over you. They decide to come back just to be sure the authority they had over your life is still there. Do not put yourself in a position where you would be hurt again. Let them meet a very different person. You discover that your sanity and your peace of mind matters beyond every other thing. And that is what is most important to you. You've picked up yourself, you've cried the lonely times, and every time you spend being a better person should be a closure to what you truly do not deserve. Do not open the doors to something that would destroy you after you've struggled to become a better version of yourself.